So we're very pleased to have with us on Secret Sessions Katie, Rosa and Ollie, and they make up Peggy Sue. How you guys doing? All right?
Good, thanks.
Pleased. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on Secret Sessions, and thank you very much for performing for us. First of all, let's talk about the tracks that you performed, starting with your own song.
So the song that we played first is called Idol.
Right.
And it was it's our current single, it's the first single from our third album, which is coming out at the beginning of next year.
Right.
And it is sort of gospel influence, but not really in a religious way, just in those sounds, and it's a bit of a mantra, and it's about being unemployed and having too much time on your hands, and that way that your mind gets lost when you think about things and you end up being very unproductive.
But surely in that you end up writing a song like Idol,
then you get
and so you get that productivity that comes with it. So
that's like our justification for almost all our bad actions.
Yeah.
Is that you get us on that of it, so that's good.
Brilliant. And as well, the cover, which I had to Google just now, Hit the Road Jack, was originally written by Percy Mayfield.
Oh really? Not Ray Charles.
But made famous by Ray Charles.
Yeah.
But what you guys did with it, amazing. So it was like an a cappella thing, obviously you had the drums going. Why that song?
We actually did an entire album of covers, old rock and roll and doo-wop covers. It was originally performed as the soundtrack.
I heard this for Scorpio
Yeah,
Rising.
exactly.
Wow.
So we kind of redid all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, I think it's a really hard thing to cover a song like Hit the Road Jack, so we kind of went for the like chain gangy, I guess it's kind of gospel-y as well, just because it's something very different. The Ray Charles version is already pretty good. So.
It's amazing, but what you did was so unique and original. Did you perform that live? Is that part of your set?
We have been, yeah. It's kind of the one that stuck from the sound, because the soundtrack was 12 songs, and then we haven't actually been playing that much this year. But the tours that we have done, we've been doing Hit the Road Jack, which it's a really fun one to do in the middle of the set as well.
It's quite fun to play a song that everyone's guaranteed to know, especially if you're on a support tour.
Yeah.
We did a tour with Jack White as well, and then we were playing Hit the Road Jack for Jack White, which was pretty.
Oh, I bet you love that.
We thought it was good.
I don't know if you know.
I don't know if you know. Hopefully.
Oh, that's a shame.
Our hearts are in the right place.
Did I hear a rumour with this Jack White tour? Maybe I'm totally wrong. It was Georgie that mentioned it to me. You wrestled him.
Oh yeah, that is
Chinese wrestling.
That is yeah.
So what's this Chinese wrestling?
Well, Chinese wrestling is like you're on like press ups facing each other, and then you try and take out each other's hands. So I said, do you fancy having a bit?
He wasn't allowed to. Ollie often challenges people to do it. Well, he didn't do this till the last night in order to not put any.
I was kept away.
The tour was not at risk. Yeah,
then we were.
Bearing in mind,
he took us out for drinks. I was like, do you wanna fancy doing a bit of Chinese wrestling? And he was like, oh no, I do Indian wrestling. And I was like, what are you talking about, Jack? And he was like, oh, Indian wrestling is this, and it was some kind of like arm shake thing. So like immediately you're in like gripping Jack White's arm. So I was immediately thinking like, oh, break his arm, or there's gonna be some kind of not I wanted.
I was gonna say.
No.
Okay.
No, just that
Sure.
like if I had it would have been bad.
Yes.
So he won.
He must have his arms or hands.
he ended up breaking his arm. His arm's about that big.
Yeah, he has got massive arms. So he won, and then I was like, oh, so how about Chinese wrestling now? And he was like, I'm not getting on the floor. The floor is dirty. And then he went.
What a diva! No, I'm joking. that sounds fair enough.
The floor was dirty.
The fact that he even got involved in wrestling in the first place
Yeah,
is props to him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. Have you guys all Chinese wrestled?
No, I don't do it.
Yeah.
You have. You don't like to get
I don't
involved.
do it. No.
Okay, that's cool. Let's talk about your new album, your third album. It's Choir of Echoes, which I love the title. Firstly, what's the meaning behind the title?
It comes from sort of inspired by one of the songs.
Right.
But basically there's. Sorry, I was really distracted by that.
Was that your
That was
phone?
my phone, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Naughty.
Choir of Echoes. The album is a lot about singing and voices, and the way that the things that you say and the things that you sing echo onwards, and they kind of build on top of each other. So all of the songs that we've done in the past, and all of the, even like just speaking the sentences that you say, they just carry on adding to each other. So that's kind of the idea behind the title, and it's just a lot about how you're using your voice as something powerful. And when we first started as a band, we used to do a lot of experimenting with our voices. We weren't very good at guitar. It was just Rosa and I, and we did a lot of like doo-wop kind of stuff. And doing the Scorpio Rising soundtrack kind of brought back that love of doing those backing vocals and those harmonies and stuff. So the Choir of Echoes thing comes from that as well, just like using our voices as a chorus, and it's a bit more celebratory maybe than our album before, so that's the title.
And you said of it as well, that it's about singing, like you said, it's about losing your voice and finding it again.
Yeah.
By that, do you mean literally almost sort of tearing up what you've done, the rule book, what you've done before, and then starting again, looking at it a totally different way?
Sort of, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess. In some ways.
Yeah.
There's also like
very
literally a
literal
song about tonsillitis on the album, or not really.
Oh, so it is. Okay,
No,
you actually
no,
lost
it's
your
not.
voice.
I mean, it's not completely. I mean, it's about lots of things. I think it's also about us finding fun in our voices again, and like really enjoying singing, which is what Katie was saying. That's where we started from, and it's about kind of that's quite empowering, and you know what you can do with your voice is kind of amazing. So I mean, not our voices specifically, but like the fact that.
Yeah, it's like the most, as a mass generalisation, it's kind of the most, can be the most powerful instrument that you have. And
of course.
On our second album, we did a lot of experimenting with guitars, and like, I guess just because we'd learned how to play them better, so we wanted to show off, and it was a bit more noisy, and we were in a bit more of like a grumpy place. So the second album, I kind of do feel like our voices are a bit lost in that. And then so in like the history of Peggy Sue, the third album is like finding a voice again.
Can I just ask, why were you in a grumpy place? Is there any reason for that specifically, or is it just one of those times in life when
it's
you're
just
like...
one of those times. There's always one of us. There's three of us, so there's always someone a bit grumpy or
Someone's going to do it. How are we all feeling at the moment?
Pretty good, yeah.
We're all great.
Thumbs up, hey!
Only matter of time.
Well, that's good. We've had a taster as well with your track Idol, which you performed for us. Is that a fair representation then of how the album sounds then as a whole?
Yeah, it's kind of one of the first songs we wrote for it, so it's really like shaped, I think, what came after it, definitely.
Yeah, it was a bit of an influence. We did that, and then we started playing that as well because we were just really excited about it. And so I think with a lot of the songs, quite often one of us will write a song, most of a song, bring it to the band, so there's still a lot of space for what direction the songs can go in. So I think after we did Idol, and we all kind of agreed that it was a sound that we really liked and an idea that we really liked, maybe some of the songs went more in that direction than they would have otherwise. So I think it feels quite good to be putting that out first. It's like, this is the beginning, and then everything. I mean, it wasn't the absolute first. There was a couple before that, but it was the first one that we finished in our heads, knowing we were starting our third album now.
Okay.
So it was really cool.
Brilliant. And you recorded the album as well in Rockfield Studios, which is legendary studios. I think it's some of the incredible albums that have been recorded there. But also the location, and I thought maybe I'm just clutching at straws here, but because it's Wales and it's a beautiful part of Wales, and what the Welsh are famous for their kind of choral sounds and stuff. Was that a reason for recording in Wales, perhaps, or was it literally to be in that studio?
It was more the space there is incredible. It's like it's funny because it was the first residential studio. So there's two studio spaces, but now it's also a working farm, and it's also like people rent it out for Christmas, and their whole 30 of their family go there. So there's like loads of these weird things going on. But there's like horses wandering around, and just like loads of space, and being a bit isolated was really cool.
We'd be looking out. When there were rainstorms, the horses would go crazy and sort of like start rearing up and hitting each other. We'd be looking out our windows as we were recording, seeing these horses fighting in the yard. It's just completely bizarre.
Many years ago, in our youth, Rosa and I broke backstage at a festival that we were playing at, and accidentally broke Devendra Banhart's sunglasses. Apologies, Devendra. Apologies.
Let the